What's been the kernels of truth that have been popping up in your reality as of late?
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of I've been focusing on the microcosm, my life, my friends, my family, like the people I work with. That to me has kind of kept me kind of sane, I think. That's been definitely a calling towards truth. And of course, still meditating, doing kind of these like wellness rituals daily. Ice baths have been a new thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I miss sauna a lot. I might have mentioned in a previous discussion with you about how sauna was really a staple of kind of my like wellness practice as far as like, getting meditation in, while also like detoxing the body. Well, all the saunas are closed. So we had to kind of switch to a new method of escaping, the mind for a bit, and ice baths have been really amazing. So
Yeah, I've been doing cold exposure, I guess you would call it, for a little while, and I haven't done an ice bath in a long time. That's where it's at. That really puts you into the present moment.
Right. It does. Yeah. I was actually editing a podcast for my brother because I'm his new show producer. My brother started a podcast as well. Shout out
Cool.
Robert Patton Global. That's what the podcast is. And we had this guy on named Dr. Harhari out of LA. He's got a wellness clinic. Really cool guy. But he just went in on podcasts, on ice baths, their benefits and how they've changed his life and stuff. Definitely informed by Wim Hof and, a lot of other kind of modalities, breath work and meditation. He's also tried psychedelics. So I think all these things go together, but he was so hyped on ice baths that I just had to go to Lowe's and buy a tub, $30 or whatever, buy $2 worth of ice, throw them in, and just see what it's all about. And man, it was amazing. I really loved it.
So that was the first time that you did an ice bath.
Yeah, and I
Was
mean, in
recently.
recent memory, yeah. I mean, I might have done them when I was a kid, just out of like a dare or just for fun. But no, I hadn't been using them.
And did you have a particular kind of practice going into it, like maybe like a breathing or something like that? Like how did you enter into the ice water?
Absolutely, yeah. Me and my friends practice Wim Hof pretty much daily. I took his course online and got my little online certificate to teach it too. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, but it's cool. I mean, Wim Hof his breath work has been a part of our life for a long time, and I had been doing yogic breath work for probably about 10 years now at this point. So I'm very familiar with moving the breath and using that to kind of help stir some courage up to jump into some ice. It also kind of puts you in a space where you're like very in control of your reaction. So if you go in with a lot of anxiety and no kind of like breath control, you're gonna like start kind of freaking out a little bit, getting those like whoa, and that's cool too. As long as you get in, that's cool too. But with the breath, you can kind of, I'm getting in. I'm in. Whoa, a little more control of reaction.
Yeah, it's. It's so. I always, whenever I start down this path of talking about the breath, it's always this thing that is. It seems so simple. I think it is so simple. We just kind of forget, or we leave it behind, or we don't pay it as enough respect as it deserves. Mm-hmm. But it literally creates more space for you to operate this, bio meat suit operating system that we're wearing. It's like, yep. I recently took a cold plunge in an alpine lake here in Colorado. I was out paddleboarding with my girlfriend, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to jump in. She's like, are you crazy? I'm like, yeah, and I'm going to jump in. It's going to be great. And it's just, there's something really great about that feeling of being in that cold water and having that control, moving that air and creating that space within you, and then realizing that a lot of things are in our minds.
Yep, 100%. I love that, because then when you get out, you feel so centered in the present moment, very similar to how a psychedelic can kind of ground you to just be like here now and focused on that, like the things around you immediately. Your mind isn't really wondering. It's just kind of, whoa, we're all here, you know? So that's pretty awesome. And that helps, I think, with, you know, all the mental chatter that people deal with that kind of keeps them from maybe being as productive as they want to be, or as creative, or even just as present, period. You know what I mean?